Week 14 of the NHL season is in the books. We got a fan base beefing a 20-year-old, captains ripping into the media, and teams scorching hot with a brand new head coach. We usually cover Sunday to Saturday for games, but Gary's on to me, so we're calling an audible and starting with Thursday. Thursday, past versus present. Fired up with the Battle of the Hudson. Matt Rempe's back from an 8-game suspension, Shesterkin is back from injury, and Artemi Panarin is scoring goals along with Adam Fox. It's just like old times as the Rangers win an OT against their rivals in the Devils. TSN turning point for the team? Probably not, but something to look out for. Next up, Sid versus McDavid. Past versus present. The Penguins haven't beat the Oilers since 2018, and Sid is sick of it. Power play goal, 3 points in the first period, and he moves into 9th all-time in scoring ahead of Joe Sakic. Oilers lose, but McDavid still gets 3 points because he's sick, and Draisaitl scores twice to add on to his league-leading goals. Now on to Tampa, where the Bruins' downfall continues. Kucherov in a rocking chair with a schmoke and a pancake, setting up Braden Point for what seems like the 1,000th time. The Bruins' power play, well, it's still trash, and it's gone 8 games without a goal. Boston drops their 5th straight, but not without dropping the gloves first and trying anything to light a spark for next game. The silent killers in the West are the LA Kings, but in the East, it could be the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sean Monahan is out with an injury, but it don't matter. The Blue Jackets rookies step up. Matejchuk, first NHL goal. Luca Del Bel Beluz, what a name, what a game. He gets 2 points also for the Jackets as they spank the Kraken. With that win, it's now the Blue Jackets who occupy that last wildcard spot in the East. Speaking about teams flying under the radar, the Dallas Stars. Nothing special to start the year, outside looking in type of feeling, but then they sent Torts and Philly back to the drawing board with a 4-1 win for their 6th in a row. Also a heads up, we got a Bermuda Triangle of mid-matchup in all its glory between Ottawa and Buffalo. UPL stays UPS and delivers a crispy shutout for the Sabres. Ottawa has now lost 4 in a row, and I'm truly baffled at how Sens fans deal with this team. Maybe Leaf fans can show them the ropes of how pure disappointment works. Of course, after I made a complete ass out of myself 2 minutes ago by saying I gotta bring the whistle for the parade, the Leafs lay a stinker against Carolina. Matthews, Marner, and Nyes have been lighting it up, but they were combined minus 17 on the night. That's a good night in beer league and a bad night in the NHL. Jordan Staal, the ageless wonder, gets a hat trick and single-handedly cancels the parade. Which means, of course, the next home game, I gotta do it. I gotta go down to Scotiabank Arena myself, break out the whistle, the parade hat, and tell Leaf fans face-to-face that it's canceled. The very best way to do that and get in on the action is through SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best app for finding deals on tickets by rating them on a scale of 1 to 10 so you know if you're getting a good deal. If it's red, no bueno. If it's green, that is a banger. You should snatch up those tickets. SeatGeek is hooking us up with 15% off whether you're a new customer or not. Personally, I like to get a little bit closer so I can give a few words of encouragement to the players.
Get in the box! Get in the box!
If you want to join in on the fun live with your favorite team, get the app, open your phone, and type Hockey15 in your code, and you'll get 15% off your next tickets. If you want the best seats in the house while scoring a great deal, click the link in our bio and use the code to get in on the action this season. Now, the big dog matchup in the West for Thursday were the Avs versus the Wild. Who ordered a pizza? It's Ross Colton. Absolute layup he gets. Thanks for the cookie. Wild coach John Hines with a facepalm, and that sums up his night against the Avs as they spank Minnesota 6-1. The Wild have had a great year, but against other fantastic teams, they haven't looked so good. Also, a side story to keep an eye on, Mikko Rantanen, 3rd in scoring. He still doesn't have a contract with Colorado. Now, the West wildcard situation isn't as tight as the East, but the Blues are right in the mix. They put up 6 on the Ducks, and in their last 8 games, they've scored 37 goals. That is the Montgomery effect at work. That surprised me, and the other surprise of the night is the New York Islanders. Yes, Lou Lamoriello comes out, gives the Islanders a vote of confidence, and they shut out the Golden Knights. That is a statement win against a team who has been steamrolling the entire league. And because the East is hilarious, the Islanders now only sit 5 points out of a playoff spot to end Thursday. Friday, Eastern Surge. The Habs are riding the vibe right now. Cole Caulfield has been clutch, Jakub Dovish has looked like a stud in the crease in his few games, and Lane Hudson is starting to take over in the Calder situation. And all 3 of those players got involved versus the Caps. Caulfield pots one, Hudson gets an assist, and Dobish stays undefeated in his rookie season as once again, Captain Suzuki comes in clutch in OT. Regardless of how you feel about the Habs, it's hard not to appreciate what they're doing as a rebuilding team. Marty St. Louis has them humming, and they're now 9-1 in their last 10. What a wagon. Let's throw Detroit in that conversation too, because the McClellan magic is real. Patrick Kane was snapping it around against his former team. He puts up 4 assists for his 11th point in 6 games. Detroit wins their 6th in a row, and it is absolutely chaos in the wild card spot in the East. It's a different type of chaos in Vancouver, though, as nothing compares to the soap opera that's going on there. It feels like the team is teetering on massive change, and you sprinkle in all the injury trouble they've been going through, it's no surprise that they're struggling. The worst part for them playing Carolina, you guessed it, Dustin Tokarski. The Team Canada legend, 35 years old, was a free agent signing in early December, and now he records a 15-save shutout. To clean up Friday, the Kings get their 4th win in a row against the Jets, and Utah squeaks in a cheeky last-minute floater to win the game in regulation over my sweet Sharks. The prophecy of a 2025 Sharks and Sabres final is slowly drifting away. Saturday, revenge night. The soap operas around the league continues, and this time it's in Boston. In the latest installment, a radio show in Boston got bored and made up a rumor that there's a rift in the room between Marchand and Pastrnak. But instead of letting it gain any momentum like it has in Vancouver, Marchand came out, shot it down, said they were best friends, and dunked on the media in the process.
Well, when there's just blatant lies told in the media, that's where there's a problem. And the fact that this guy has a platform and he's just making stuff up is embarrassing.
Boston would then get a chance to deflect some of the noise with a revenge game against the Cup champs. Back and forth all game long like it usually is in between these two teams, the hate is still very much alive. A couple of fights, they trade some goals, but Boston gets PTSD from 2 years ago as Reinhart ties it with 2.8 seconds left to force OT, and he gives it right back. Pastrnak tries to pass the puck, it deflects off of Reinhardt's stick and goes into the net, and that is how Boston breaks out of their 6-game slump. That game and all the drama surrounding it could be finally what turns the tables for the Bruins season, but we'll see. Now in Pittsburgh, the Sens are the latest supporters of the hashtag #SaveSid movement with a dominant 5-0 win. The Pinto Parlay double dips, and Levi Merilainen gets his first career shutout. Keeping it in the Bermuda Triangle of mid, a Buffalo moment of the night is they go up 2-0 and then proceed to let Seattle score 6 straight goals with Capo Caco getting a pair. Then we get the true revenge game featuring Cutter Gauthier and the Philadelphia Flyers. The first time Gautier's in Philly since he wanted out, and the fans wanted blood. First, they boo him in warmups. Then they boo him on the first shift.
There's the guy who just hit the ice.
A warm welcome?
Yes.
Then to add a cherry on top, Jamie Drysdale, the man who came back in the deal for Gauthier, gives Philly exactly what they want with a power play goal, and Philly starts a Jamie's better chant.
Not scored in 26 games.
And now we got some Jamie Drysdale chants going.
The Gauthier era has created a whole new rivalry between Philly and the Ducks. Tensions kept boiling over. There's a parade to the penalty box, and Torts is shoving his players aside to absolutely give it to the refs, while Travis Konechny is making damn sure to let Gauthier know that he's going to get a piece of it. The Flyers absolutely crushed the Ducks 6-0 in the revenge game to send Philly fans home happy. And with all the chaos in the East, it's still the Blue Jackets who hold that last wild card spot in the East with their 4th win in a row over St. Louis. I didn't predict that at all heading into the season, but I could have predicted that the Blackhawks would blow a 3-1 lead to Edmonton. I mean, I know it's Chicago, but the Oilers do look fully back to the wagon they were in last year's playoffs to end the week. Then there's Connor Hellebuck, who's legitimately in the Hart conversation as a goalie. He blanks McKinnon and the Avs for his 6th shutout of the season. Let's all just hope Winnipeg doesn't do what they do every year and completely fumble in the second half of the season. Also, if you made it through this video and to the end of the week, you now understand the roller coaster of emotions it is to be a Leaf fan. Pure elation and optimism at the start, only followed by existential dread. They got a Canucks team struggling and dealing with the media sharks surrounding them. Well, they lay an egg on home ice. Vancouver puts on a defensive clinic to temporarily cancel the Leaf Cup parade. Now, if you want to talk consistency, you got to talk Jacob Markstrom. He starts the week stopping pucks like a Jedi and ends the week doing the exact same thing by robbing Braden Point on the goal line. Sheldon Keefe puts his balls on the table, rolling 4 forwards on the power play in OT, and it pays off with a nation game winner. Meanwhile, the Wild get a classic Fleury performance as he stops 36 shots to put a dent in the Sharks' prophecy. There was no Celebrini magic in that game, but the other Calder candidate in Dustin Wolf was lights out. He stonewalls the Kings and is an absolute weapon on home ice with an 11-2-1 record and .936 save percentage. If Calgary sneaks in, Wolf is the dark horse for the Calder. Over on the island, the New York Islanders are riding the belief of Lou Lamoriello. Down 1-0 to the no-name brand, they score back-to-back goals to win their third in a row. And to everyone's surprise, the other New York team pulled their weight against Vegas. Because the East is a circus, one hot streak from the Rangers, and they can completely erase the disaster that the past month and a half has been. That is a big if, though. Finally, we can congratulate the Washington Capitals, who get the pleasure of playing the Predators. The Caps are certified wagons, and how about Ovi eating a clapper to block the shot in the final minute and then getting the empty netter? Who says he doesn't play defense? That is his 20th consecutive season with at least 20 goals. The consistency is unmatched, and he's now only 22 goals back from beating the Great One's goal record. Sunday, Red Wings heater. Yes, a special hockey psychology edition of Sunday's games. As you know, the NHL globally blocked our previous video. So I'm doing this outside of Gary Bettman's office to show him that we're just trying to grow the game. First off, it's the Red Wings and the Kraken. Not even 10 minutes into this game, the Red Wings are up 4-0. The McClellan magic is real. They win 7 in a row. Meanwhile, the Stars were just as much on a heater, but the Sens put an end to it. Matthew Highmore, less is more, gets the game winner as the Sens try desperately to claw out of the Bermuda Triangle mid and into a playoff spot. Then we have Nikita Kucherov, still in a rocking chair with a smoke and a pancake, bombing not 1, but 2 goals into the back of the net, and it's just another day at the office for him. Congrats to Tampa as well for supporting the hashtag #SaveSid movement. Also, Cutter Gauthier gets the ultimate Philly treatment. Goose eggs in Philly, then comes out today against Carolina and scores 2 goals, including the game winner. Whether you love him or you hate him, that is how you bounce back. And in our final game, it is the Wild versus the Golden Knights. The Wild continue to struggle against really good teams, and Vegas just remains a wagon. I know they're Gary's favorite team. Can't say that too loud in here, but honestly, they look like the Cup favorites to come out of the West. So what did you think of Week 14? I know this is a different format, but we had to adapt. Let us know in the comments down below who pissed you off, who surprised you in Week 14. And as always, if you want to see more breakdowns and more weekly recaps, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.